Hi, it's Joe. I'm here to bring you a video for the Cameo. We're going to be making a card pretty much from start to finish. This is going to be the card we're going to make. This is using a digi stamp, which this one is from Squigglefly, and then also using a cut file, but we're going to be making it a print file rather than a cut. And also it's going to be showing you how to make the card base, the card layer, and then your top layer, which has your digital image on it and what was a cut file and now it's a print file. So let's go ahead and get started. I already have my mat set to letter and the mat at 12 by 12 size. So the first thing I'm going to create is the card base. I'm going to draw a rectangle, and I don't need it in any certain size because I'm going to go ahead and click. I'm going to go up here to the scale window, click on that, and I'm going to make this 5.5 inches wide by 8.5 inches high. And that's my card base. Now if you wanted to, you could go ahead and create a perforated line here in the middle so that you could fold it, have Cameo cut that file or cut that line. I just don't like the look of it, so I'm going to use my square buddy to square that in half. So I'm going to move this off because I'm not going to have this on my mat because that'll be cut separately. Next thing, I'm going to go right back to my rectangle draw tool, click on it. I'm going to draw a rectangle. Again, not worrying about the size because I'm going to click on it, go up to the scale window, which we already have open. We're going to go to width, and I'm going to be making this a 5.375 wide by 4.125 high. Okay, again, I don't need to use this right now. This is strictly just going to be a layering piece. Move it on over. Once again, rectangle, draw my rectangle, click on it. We're going to size it again. This one is going to be 5.25 wide by 4.0. And apply. Now this is where we're going to be doing our work. We're going to be putting our digital image on here as well as the cut file that we're going to be making a print file. So I've already opened my digi file. This would be where if you have not opened a digi file yet, you would go to your file, open, and wherever you keep your digital images, that's where you would go grab your image from. Now, what I'm doing is I already have this one open. This is the little image that I used on the card. And I'm just going to highlight it. I'm going to right-click my mouse, do copy, go back over to my card, right-click again, paste. Obviously, that's too big. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and scale it down some. I might change it a little bit afterwards, but for now, I'll move that down just a tad bit. I think I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit. And let's see if we can bring that. I just zoom out just a tad. Okay. So now I'm going to go to my library. And I already have my library up here. And I'm going down to what I have words and phrases in. There's my happy birthday. I'm going to grab that. Now I'm just going to move it. It's a little bit bigger than what I want, so I'm going to scale it down just a tiny bit. Kind of move it into position. Now the one thing you want to remember you have to do is you're going to right click while this image is highlighted, and you need to make sure you click Make Compound Path. Now you're going to click on this again because you want to make sure you are not cutting this file. Cut menu right up here, which is the little scissors. You're going to cut or make it a no cut. Right? We have a no cut. Let's get rid of that. Okay. I'm going to just, to be on the safe side, double check. We still have it as a compound path, otherwise it wouldn't just say release compound path. Keep that highlighted. I'm going to go up to this fill box, open the fill color window, and pick a color. I'm going to go ahead and pick purple. But you'll notice there's like some red lines still around it. That's the outline, or basically where it's been drawn. So you can either, if you want red lines, or you can even change it to a different color, like to make it a slight contrast, whatever you want. I kind of want it around the same color. So what you need to do is go up here to this multicolor little icon, and it's the line color. And like I said, this is where if you wanted to make it a different color, you could. But I'm going to kind of keep it the same, so I'm going to choose that purple. Okay, again, it's looking just a hair too big for me, so I'm going to move it down just a tad more. Okay. Let's be moved over. I can get picky sometimes. So we have this all together now. So what I want to do, I'm going to kind of start up here, and I'm just going to hold my mouse key down and draw a big box around it. So now it's highlighting all the pieces. And I'm going to right click, and I'm going to say group, or you can do Control G with a Windows computer. So now we have that all as one piece, but we're going to need to make this a print and cut. So in order to do print and cut, if you've done any of them before, you know that you need to have your reg marks. So I'm going to click up here to the registration marks, and I want it to show me the reg marks. Now I'm going to have to zoom out on this so you'll be able to see it. And as you can see, it's created reg marks for me, so I know exactly where I can put this. So I just have to keep it within those markings. Now for some reason, your markings, they were just a little bit too big. You can adjust them. I've heard some people say you shouldn't. I've heard others say you should. I've adjusted it, and I've not had any problems with it. You just go here and you size them down, and you'll notice that it changes it up there at the top. And you can actually go even further down, but we'll leave it at that. That way you could get this a little bit closer. So if you were going to duplicate this and maybe print it a second time because you don't want to waste the paper, you could always do that. Let's just, for instance, let's go ahead and we're going to copy, and I'm going to click down here, and yes, there's other ways that you can copy, but this way I'm pasting, and I'll bring it down here. But I've decided I don't want this one purple, I wanted a different color. So what I'm going to do, since it's all highlighted, you're going to right click, you're going to ungroup, click off, click that happy birthday again, and now go back up to your fill window, and let's say, for instance, we want this one to be green. Of course, your lines are actually still purple, so keeping that still highlighted, I'm going to go back up to this window up here, the line color window. It's the multicolor lines. Click on that, and you know what? Let's make it, I don't know, how about orange? So now it's green and orange. Okay, again, I'm just going to draw a box around all of them. Whoops. Try that again. And I did Control G this time. So now I'm not wasting my paper, especially if I'm using my Copic paper, because of course it's not like a cheaper paper that you would get from Walmart or your office supply stores. So we're all ready. What you'll want to do is go ahead and print this out the way you normally would if you were using your registration marks, which the way I do it, I go to printer, select my printer, say print, let it do its thing as far as printing. Then I would go ahead and load that into my Cameo, and I would have it cut. Now, this is a way to double check to make sure, and I always do this just to be on the safe side. I click on the image, I will go back up here to where the scissors are, click the scissors. The only thing that should be highlighted in red right now would be the box, the rectangle around that. That's the only thing you want to cut. You do not want anything on your digital image to cut, and you don't want the happy birthday to cut, because you have now made what was a cut file into a print file. So it's a cut and print. Alright, so let's go ahead and, just for the heck of it, we'll move those off. I'm not going to need these reg marks anymore, so I'm going to go back, remove those reg marks. Let's get these off further because they can't be on your mat. I'm going to bring it back over, and now whatever your coordinated color would be, you would actually go ahead, put this up there, send it through your Cameo, cut it, be done with that, and repeat the same process to cut your actual card out. Now, let's go ahead and we'll zoom in a little bit so you can see better. You'll see that when it's all said and done, this will have a tiny white border, because I would be doing the card in white. So you'll have a tiny white border. Zoom it in just a hair more so you'll see. I don't quite have it centered. When you put it together, you would actually have that border. And then what we can do is we'll go over and grab one of these and bring it on over here and just put it in there. And this is just strictly to show you what you've created. You wouldn't want to do this because of course it's not going to cut correctly. But this is how you would create a card from start to finish and have a digital image on there, make an image that is a cut file to begin with, but when you're done with it, you've just now made it a print file. And you can pretty much do this with any image. The best things that are going to work are really going to be more like your words, or something that might have words in them, because more than likely you're not going to want to make some of the files that need to be assembled. You're not going to want to make them print files too much. So that's all that's to it. It's pretty simple. I hope that you will give this a try and let me know what you think. Thanks for stopping by and checking the video out today, and I'll see you again soon.